You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
We're back with Rich Jorberg. We're talking about affordable housing tonight. Rich, this affordable housing conference was put together basically from the two housing components that we have here in Guam Housing Corporation as well as GURA. Now, these folks, these entities basically are the ones that basically really aggressively getting people into homes, affordable homes. Yep. People who normally would not afford by themselves to get into homes. So they have a lot of programs that are happening. As a matter of fact, you see a lot of groundbreaking, ribbon cuttings in regards to programs that they have instituted and have come to fruition. The symposium itself, is it working, and is the concept working? I know, again, like I said, ribbon cuttings and all that happening, but really, are we getting the folks that need homes into homes?
I think it's a big problem, but I think that the governor had an objective of having 3,000 affordable homes built in the beginning of his administration, and what I heard today was about 2,000 units are either under construction, completed, or in process. Or actually, there are 2,000 out of 3,000, so it's working. You've got a very good team here. You start at the top. You've got the governor directing. You've got Tina Munoz-Barnes.
Overseas housing.
Overseas housing. Then you've got Tom Atta was there today also.
Oh, in the symposium.
Yep,
Okay.
Watching carefully. And then GHC is more of a local organization, where GURA is more of a federal organization.
Guam Housing Corporation, yes.
Guam Housing Corporation, Martin Benavente. They're being very aggressive at picking, I guess, what they'd call low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
So they're taking easy opportunities to kind of increase the number of houses available for people. So GURA does more of the federal tax credits, and there's sequestration problems, so they're having some concerns about how much the feds are really going to help. And right now, if a project is losing money, so to speak. So there's some projects that are breaking even, some are losing money. The feds are kind of yanking back the money on the ones that are losing money, on the projects that are losing money. So GURA has some challenges with the federal budget, where GHC can work with Chamorro Land Trust land and can do more local initiatives. So they have more flexibility. So I think you've got pretty good groups working on this.
Now let me ask you this, because I know I'd spoken to Martin a while back in regards to affordability.
Right.
Now, he definitely says, and I totally agree with him. He says, hey, affordability, some folks are $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 homes.
Yeah.
Basically, they said, hey, we go over there. They're living in tents, and if I can give them a container home, that's an affordable home to them. And and we talked about this, and we go, as much as maybe some bureaucrats put things together and say, hey, these are hookup fees and all that. There are a lot of people who can't afford homes. There are a lot of poor people out there, and poor people won't just go away.
No,
okay?
In fact, they're getting more and more.
That's right. That's right. And so if you tell them to go away, they're not going to go away. It's not going to happen. They're going to be walking the streets even more, and you're going to see them in the street corners as well even more. So they're not going to go away. But we have to devise a mechanism to help them in regard. And some of them can be helped. Some of them probably just don't want to be helped at this point as well. But so again, the definition of affordability. Again, per district, as we look at it, how are we in regards to affordable homes compared to the challenges? Because mainland United States have great challenges. I think the record of foreclosures has eased at this point, but they were,
Well, it was easy to build all over the United States. A lot fewer constraints. Yeah. You don't have limited land. Here, there's a lot more friction about delivering dwelling units. You've got financing problems because, in a way, Guam is being redlined indirectly.
Sure,
it's conservative underwriting, but reality is there could be more liberal financing.
Sure.
Yeah, you have cost of your construction is very expensive because of the earthquakes and such. Then you have low incomes, so you have a lot higher delivery costs, and then you have a lot lower affordability for the average homeowner.
Yeah.
So it's a tough situation. There's no question. Mike Duenas has done a good job with the hand that he's being dealt, right, with GURA, with Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority Corporation, and then USDA is helping out. But I think what's really working is GHC has the ability to finance projects internally, finance side,
Sure.
no money down programs and such. That works.
And
because it's
there's
not
a
federal-
qualification, of course, for that.
absolutely.
I mean, you
No
got to be
question.
turned down by,
Oh,
I think,
a lot
three
of people are
institutions, yeah?
competing for
Yeah,
those
sure,
dollars,
sure,
absolutely.
Sure.
But today there was a bill that was signed that's reclassifying some income that was kind of abandoned, like savings accounts that hadn't been looked at in so many years and such, and that money is being reclassified and it's being used as a starter
tax
fund.
refunds. I think tax refund
Something,
money.
it was the
Sure,
signature was
sure,
today, so
sure.
I'm not the
Yeah.
expert on
No,
which.
let's go big, because you're talking about affordable homes, affordability, and things like that. One of the projects, of course, you're looking to develop Sigua Highlands. One of the first projects you intend to put up there is affordable homes for senior citizens.
That's right.
Now let's talk about that, because unlike again, these are folks in their twilight years that basically are not needing assistance. So this is not an assisted living, but these are folks that basically may not qualify to go to the bank because they're 20, 30-year mortgages. They're in their 70s or 70 or 80s. I doubt it if a bank will go give them a 20, 25, 30-year mortgage. How do we make it happen again for folks on that end and affordability who are basically on a fixed income? You don't expect them to go out and get a second or third job. They've done their job collecting an income, a very fixed income.
That's when these programs, Guam Housing Corporation, GURA, is really the agency that has to sponsor these kind of projects. So we would use the developer, the private sector would use tax credits and kind of cobble together, I guess, Carlos Camacho calls it the wedding cake. You're using different layers for different pieces of closing the gap.
So when you talk about tax credit, you're talking about federal tax credits, basically.
That's right, it's federal. It's all federal. That's right. They're sold off island.
So when you use tax credits, you save, the developer saves money. You can pass on that saving then to the consumer, the end consumer, right?
Absolutely. What you're doing is you're reducing the cost of the unit so it's affordable. Otherwise, it wouldn't be affordable. So those tax credits are sold off island. They don't affect Guam's economy other than being a stimulus for new construction. They're positive.
Yeah. Now, when you look at affordable homes, then when you're looking at affordable homes in your first project, targeting basically for senior citizens, affordable homes. Again, to try to get homes 20, 30 years, it's probably very unlikely you would get that. There will probably be more rentals, rental facility. Am I?
You're absolutely right. I mean, Guma Tranquilidad is an example, right? There was an intention at one point to expand it, but those are rental facilities. There's, I think, a 7-year wait list to get onto the property. So those are rental. You would not have, because it would, if you started selling elderly units, it really wouldn't solve. It would be more of a question: who owns it next?
Well, then you're going to have a hard time qualifying.
That's right.
Again, people who are in fixed incomes and all that. I mean, I was just watching a news segment today in regards, and this is so an injustice to veterans, where there's a 93-year-old veteran that is trying to get his benefits or trying to get some VA benefits, and the VA, because of bureaucracy, the 93-year-old is having to prove that he cannot work. Having to prove that he can't work.
I wish I could prove that.
I can prove I can't work. But again, when you get caught up in the bureaucracy and you don't even look at the common sense of it. You look at 93.
Hey, it's a checklist.
It's a checklist.
Come on, give me.
You have to prove that you can't work. Wait a minute. Anyway, we're going to go. We'll talk a little bit about the project. We'll come back.
Sure.
Be right back.